We ready, Daisy, or you have to press play? Good evening. Welcome to all. Happy holidays. Hope everyone has a good holiday coming up. This will be the only meeting for the month of December due to the holidays. So I'd like to go ahead and begin. Laguna Madre Water District notice of a regular meeting Board of Directors. Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the district to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas, on the 11th day of December 2013 at the hour of 6 p.m. for consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on December 5th, 2013 at 1:30 p.m. in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551-041-551-050, and a copy furnished to the county clerk at Cameron County, Texas. We do have the presence of a quorum. All members are present with the exception of Mr. Keplinger, who is out due to a family matter. If we could please have everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to item 3, invitation to the audience for discussion. At this time, audience or board members or anything like to discuss open in public? Yes, sir, Mr. Galvan.
I have one. Yes, I didn't put it in the agenda, but I'd like to mention that we had 3 retirees this year, and we're getting towards the end of the year, so I just want to bring it up to the board's attention. We had Frankie Cisneros in July, and Cecilio Barrientos, Chilo, he retired already, and we have Caetano Nunez after this Friday.
Wow.
So he's going to be retiring also, Caetano Nunez. So.
And Frankie had 43 years?
44.
44 years.
He almost had 45, but he didn't go all the way through.
Wow.
And he had like 6 more months to go.
He's going to have a good retirement.
Barrientos had about 15, 16?
13 now. Wasn't it 14? 14?
14?
14.
And Cayetano, 25, 22?
22.
Mr. Barrientos had been here before.
Right, prior years.
The prior years, and then he left.
Left and came back? Boy, that's a loss. That's a lot of longevity.
Yeah.
We wish them all the very best.
Thank you.
New future endeavors. Any other comments or questions, concerns?
That
Board?
man here, did you want to come before the board, sir? Oh, okay.
Okay. Moving to item number 4. Consider and approve the minutes for the regular meeting of November 13th, 2013.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Garcia. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are, none opposed. Thank you. Item 5, consider an award bid number FCS-13-11-10, fuel control system for the mechanical maintenance department. Victor?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. We advertised for sealed bids on this one. It's a fuel control system for all the vehicles. The one we have right now is not operating, and all the parts that are needed are. This machine here is obsolete, so we need to upgrade what we had. We did go out for bids, and we had 2 bidders come in. The budget that we had on this one was for $18,000. The lowest bid we got was from Track Engineering for $13,392. And if we could just, the staff would recommend for the board approval for the Track Engineering to continue with the process of installing. They're going to be removing the old unit and installing the new, and it'll be for the gasoline and for diesel as well.
How old was the old system? The old system wasn't that old, was it?
I believe 19.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. I think the Bart, the
ladies.
Yeah, the mechanic, he called around and nobody had parts for it. Nobody really knew how to work it, so we
probably bought it obsolete.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
No, I think we talked about that, and then that's never mind.
What is a fuel control system?
90
It's,
something.
the, pump station, gasoline pump station that we have at the warehouse for all the units of the water district. That's how we monitor the usage.
Okay.
It's
A gas pump.
Gas
We need a
pump.
new gas pump.
Both,
Okay.
this one's gonna be for both, this one's gonna have both gas and also diesel. It's gonna mark both of them.
We'll monitor both.
It's gonna monitor both.
$13,000 gas. Hey. Don't have to like it.
Move to approve, Chairman.
A motion made by Mr. Garcia for approval,
Second.
second by Mr. Robert. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item number 6, consider and approve bid number VPRJCT-10-11-13 valve project for the distribution department. Victor?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, these are just the valves and the equipment that the distribution system needs to be able to repair all the valves on the island and Port Isabel and Laguna Vista. It's still an ongoing project. It's coming from the 2007 bond that we have, and that one, we had 3 bidders put in a bid for. The lowest bid came in from Ferguson Waterworks for $55,145.18. And at this time, we would like for the board to approve for that project.
What were the other bids?
The other ones were from EMSA and HD Supply. EMSA came in second with $55,786 and 58 cents. And HD Supply came in at $58,385 and 44 cents.
They're not that far apart, that's pretty good.
No,
You
they're
did-
not. They're pretty reasonable.
How far along are you guys in the valve replacement? Halfway, quarter of the way, 3/4?
What is it, Charles?
I'd have to check with
We
Bill.
were replacing a lot of valves in-house. That's my question on this.
Was that?
Just a guess that they're a little bit over the 0.5%. Like, half of everything, a little bit more than half. Still gotta have a ways to go.
I thought you said last time they finished the island, they were coming.
No, they still have they've done about the front half of the island. They just need to get to the back part,
Right.
to the second part of the island.
They finished the valves that they had there, but there's more on the other side of Gulf Boulevard. It's a lot of
I know,
valves
and
that
it's
need
hard
to be
there.
replaced.
But that was the worst place, wasn't it? They
Right,
said?
the worst
That's
place,
why.
yes. And that's why we're going that way first, because
Yeah.
we can't ever isolate any areas. So, once we get done with, I'm thinking that this part here, there's smaller areas that will get involved, and there might be smaller valves. They're getting smaller every time we do something, like these are smaller valves. First ones that we installed were 16 and 12-inch valves, and maybe a couple of 8-inch valves. So they're getting to the smaller valves.
The big accounts are done.
Yeah, well, we have a 24-inch valve scheduled next week, but I mean, we're basically trying to knock out the major ones, and then kind of keeping it smaller and smaller.
Where's
Right,
that
that one's at the
24
water
inch?
plant number 2, the main line that comes from out there. water
On the
plant
main
two.
line.
So, but that's one of the biggest valves. On that one, what's the name of the company that was supposed to install it?
Peterson.
Peterson Construction, when they did the pipeline at Cuates, they were supposed to do that contract. But they never got to it because of the weather, and we couldn't isolate it, we couldn't get to that part, and it was part of the busy time of the year. So we decided to do it in winter ourselves.
Yeah.
And we deleted the cost from them and kept the part of the funds for that.
So this 55,000 is just for the valve, not the labor, because you have a team.
Yes,
that's
we have our
installing
own.
in-house, right?
In-house.
Yeah, have our own.
Okay, we're replacing, this is just the valves.
This is just
Yeah.
a
The valves, okay.
You have some material.
Because I remember we had guys working, getting a lot of overtime, working nights to make it, convenient for the customers, and okay.
Yeah.
This is for the
only
valves.
thing- The only reason why we had stopped was because of the busy season. It was in the summer, and we couldn't work that well on the island. So now that it
Slower down,
started,
slow down.
they're kicking it up again, so we start up again. We isolated, the island before, we'd have to shut down like half the island to be able to fix one leak. We're down to about, closing about just 3 blocks at a time instead of having the whole half of the island shut down. So
Victor, what,
we're
okay,
getting closer.
when you close, you know, a 3-block section or a 4-block section, you know, these people, these customers are out of service, how many hours, are they without service, más o menos?
Depending on the work that's
On the area and the
in the
environment.
area, I mean, usually within 3 hours they're back in service. It's not that long.
Mr. Garcia, this is why they were doing it sometime at night.
Yeah, I know they're working at night.
This bid is for the valves themselves?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, not the
Yes.
labor,
No,
because I
not
was
the labor,
wondering,
no,
was
it's
that a
just
contract?
valves and the
Stand
nuts
still.
and the bolts that are needed for.
Right. And,
Materials.
again, once they, install the valves, they're gonna get into installing pipeline. after
Our
that.
labor.
And that's the reason that we wanna isolate smaller areas to install pipeline after that.
Huh?
So, and then, of course, the water leaks, it is better to have more valves to isolate smaller areas. It doesn't interfere with the businesses and all that are out there. So it makes it smaller isolations.
Motion to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Vella. All those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Unopposed, motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item 7, consider and approve the electricity provider to begin January 1st, 2014. Robert?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I had originally submitted a memo to you all that requesting that we approve as a vendor, but since then there has been several changes. The market on gas fluctuates. Oh, by the way, this is Mr. Hinojosa, Alex Hinojosa. The market has fluctuated quite a bit on a daily basis. It does every day, but it's more fluctuate more this time of the year because of the request for heating oil and so on up north, and so it's costing this to go up quite a bit. I gave you all a little summary of the. I put it on there. I'd like to get this back if you don't mind, so you can see the fluctuation in the prices and the vendors coming back and telling me that they couldn't hold the price that they originally submitted because of the fluctuation on the market. And so what I'm really asking is the board to allow the committee, which is Mr. Galvan, Mr. Valdez, myself, Mr. Vela, and Mr. Kiplinger. I don't know if they would like to participate, for us to go ahead and approve the vendor tomorrow, so that we could lock in a price. I have requested the vendors that originally submitted a proposal to give us a final price tomorrow so that we can go ahead and settle that.
What do you mean to borrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow, excuse me, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, they could give us a final quote on this so we can go ahead and lock in on the prices.
Well, and I see here that you have, 12 months, 24 months, and 36 months.
Yes.
Tomorrow, if you get approval to lock in tomorrow, are you gonna go for 12, 24, or 36 months?
We're looking at 24 months.
24 months.
Yes. And when we met as a committee, Mr. Vela was there, and he agreed that it shouldn't be any longer than 24 months at this point.
But now you say the prices changed, so you're gonna see what went on with the prices, huh?
Yes.
Or
Well,
you're gonna
the
lock
price
it
of
in?
gas went down today, so
Might go down, yeah.
maybe we'll get a better rate tomorrow, so lock
Right.
it in, yeah.
And quite honestly, I've been looking at in the proposal that I sent out, I requested the companies that submitted a proposal to submit a copy of a bill that they had. And I've noticed quite a few differences. Although one company has lower rates than the other, there is one company that includes in their bills some of the fees, where the other company may be setting it aside.
Absorbing the fee.
And so if they're giving us a lower price, then I need to go in there and look at all the charges that are separate from what the other company, and actually get a true kilowatt charge. Because it's gonna be an extensive analysis that I'm gonna have to do tomorrow.
And
in order
it's
to
still
get it.
between these three companies, Reliant and,
Yes, sir, they're the only ones that submitted a bid, on the 20th of November.
They all wanna rebid it.
Yes. Everything is pretty much equal.
What you're saying is none of them wanna stand up to the bid they gave us to begin with.
Correct.
That's what it is.
That sucks.
When you put this
Well,
out for bid, do you have to repost the RFQ, or is it in there to state that it can be amended that day? I mean, just asking on the legality part of it, on that, when you go back out tomorrow and do that.
Well, because of the price changing so much, what I did is I emailed each of the vendors today and asked them to give me a final price for tomorrow.
Is that what, so the
But
so the
RFP. You have,
RFP?
to give an update at the.
Yes, there was.
There is a clause where it says.
Okay.
Give an updated,
And as a matter of fact, all three
Again.
vendors pretty much stated that, they would like to give a final price on the day that we settle on the contract, because of the constant change in the price of the.
Okay, I didn't see the
Are they
RFP, so I just
gonna
wanna make sure.
bring that in a sealed bid to be opened again, just like the last time?
No,
No,
we're
that's
gonna
not
accept
happening.
it through email,
That's
Just
what I
the
was
three
asking.
vendors.
because everything else is pretty much on equal basis. The only thing that I have found different is, like I said, some of the charges are being separated by one vendor, where the other vendors included those charges in their contract price. So their contract price may be a little higher, and this vendor has it lower, but then there's those fees that are being separated that I need to look at and see what.
Some vendors are charging in meters and some aren't, and things like that, huh?
I'm sorry?
Some vendors are
Meters.
charging for meters and some
Yes.
aren't.
Yeah, and that's another one.
Yeah.
so all three vendors, because you put this out with all three vendors here, so all three vendors can see each other's bid.
No, I did not put that out. That's why I'm saying I need to, what I'm
Oh.
showing you right there is confidential at this
I
point.
see. So
Nobody
you
has
don't
seen
know.
it. No.
Okay,
That's why I'm not mentioning any prices.
I understand.
Turn it back in.
All right,
Oh, it's yours?
so you need a motion
To approve,
to
tomorrow's.
approve the committee to review the
Approve another bid?
the price of electricity, and then go with the lowest, or the best price for it.
With the best price.
I can't have that.
I move, Chair.
Motion made by Mr. Garcia.
Second.
You
Second
know, I
by
should've
Mr.
wrote
Bella.
that down over
Are
here.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
One opposed.
One opposed, for the record, Mr. Thomas. Moving to item number 8, consider and approve the disbursements. So everyone had a chance to review their disbursements. Does anyone want to discuss a disbursement in particular? Otherwise, can we get a motion to approve all the disbursements?
I would like to question on page 10 of the initial one, IT support was $7,300. What did we get for $7,300 on the IT report, guys, for IT support?
That is we currently have an IT person that actually reports to Orbit, or they're being paid by Orbit. In the agreement, it states that we will reimburse Orbit for that person, and that's what that is. And they just had not submitted all their invoices. They had been lagging, and they kept questioning why we hadn't paid it, and so we went back and researched, and we told them that they had just not submitted those invoices. So some of these invoices, as you can see, one of them's for August, another one for September, a couple for October.
So we're gonna be paying that every month forever?
A lot of that's just equipment here, that's
No, in this case, it's just,
No.
this 1458.33 is strictly the personnel.
It's a monthly agreement with Laguna Madre. Well,
we have a contract.
yearly contract.
We have a contract.
Right.
Anyway,
Seems kinda high because they didn't submit the invoices when they were supposed to. They
Yeah.
submitted them all at the same time. So
Right.
that's all it is.
We approved the contract 6 or 8
Yes.
months ago.
That was approved,
Board approved,
in 2012.
God, my time frame is...
Stand by, time's flying.
How much is it we owe?
Well, we paid him
We've already paid him.
$72.91, $7,300.
Oh.
But it's every 2 weeks, it's, well, not every 2 weeks, it's semi-monthly, it's $1,458.33.
Like a retainer for the IT
Right.
person? All right. I don't have any other questions.
I didn't know that.
Can you round it up to yearly?
It's around $38,000. 37,885, 87, something like that.
What do they do for that?
I'm sorry?
What did they do for that?
Oh, he, as a matter of fact, they're the ones that installed the system that we have here. Now with the VoIP system, he's involved with the VoIP system and troubleshooting it. He also, oversees our computers, which are old, and they are constantly needing in repair or maintenance. And, he's been checking out with the lift stations, making sure that they're working properly and so on. Anytime there's a problem, internet or electronically, he's the one that's, troubleshooting it.
That's actually less than what it would be to have an in-house IT person. Those guys are 60,000, 50 to 60,000.
I believe
I think
previous
we got-
agreements were higher than, the agreement that we have now.
We get the IT guy 20 hours a week or something, is it?
So how many months
Well,
was
he's coming in now.
Full-time?
He's not completely full-time, but he's working between 6 to 7.5 hours a day. I'd really like to have him 8 to 5, because it just happens that every time he's not here, that's when something goes down.
We kinda
Either
talked
early in the
about,
morning or late in the afternoon.
Pull the contract and let's review it and amend it.
we've been talking about
Well, wait,
Well,
having our IT guy, in-house instead of.
If we do that, I was thinking that, I mean, Carlos and I were talking about it, we could just about hire our own IT guy if we did that.
Problem is that you get a guy that...
How much a year are we gonna hire an IT guy, a good one? How much is this gonna cost us a year, this guy?
40.
How much
40
would it cost
grand?
us?
We can get a good guy, IT guy for $1,000,
They're
or for
probably-
40 grand a year.
It probably costs us double because we have to pay his uniform, pay
He
his
probably
insurance,
will.
pay
You
his,
probably
everything.
will.
Yeah, 'cause we have the
I
benefits
think,
and all that included.
By the time it'll be 60 plus
Yeah.
by the time, I know, because we have
Well,
several IT guys at the school, and they're, they're full-time.
It costs,
but
And,
consider this, okay? Right now, he's being paid by Orbit.
You wanna hire him
Okay.
directly?
Yes, sir. Because he's
we're on the right
getting
page.
paid $33,000 a year. The other $4,000 or $5,000 that Orbit is getting from us is to pay his taxes and workers' comp and so on.
yeah.
So we're already paying for part of the benefits. Okay, and if we can get him, like I was talking to Carlos, if we can get him for about 35, we'll pay a little bit more, but he'll be in full-time here from 8 to 5.
Why don't
Yeah,
we pay him
but
as
then
an
we'll be paying
independent contractor?
insurance and-
That way we don't have to pay any of his benefits, take him all the way up or even above of what we're paying them. And,
Well, we had an independent contractor before, but he had other clients, and so we had to schedule him in.
We're still
Individual.
kinda talking about it and
Sole-
trying to find the best option, but.
Sole
we'll bring it
service?
up.
we're on the same page,
All right.
we're on the same page, Bob.
All right.
IRS
now.
regulations,
All
those
right.
state that if you tell that individual when to come in and
You
you
have to put him
control
on
his
payroll.
work, then he's an employee.
Yeah.
Well, do the research anyway, and then come back.
Yeah, that's what we're doing actually, researching and getting the best option for the district.
Does he seem like he knows what he's doing?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I still believe let Albert take care of it.
Working with you down the lift stations, doing you any good down there?
No, he's helping out with the call boxes, just to make sure that they are getting, signal and stuff like that, so. So, I mean, we can use them about anywhere where there's a computer glitch or something, we can use them for anything.
Yeah, like, he was also gonna help us set up the telephones for the new building at Water Plant 2, you know, stuff like that.
And if Orbit, and if Orbit has been talking about increasing that contract, I mean, it's gonna be coming out the same.
Talk to us.
Pull the contract, review it, and see what you can do, and what, you know, if there any thing about him coming to work over here, if he's got any non-compete or anything in there, or just review that contract and see what it is. See if you can make him a deal.
Handle it, handle it, handle it, handle it, handle it.
Can we move on?
Well, I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the disbursements or whatever it is.
So moved.
Motion to approve the disbursements, motion made by Mr.
Second.
Vella, second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Disbursements are paid. Moving to item number 9, excuse me, General Manager's Report. Item A, Touchstone Golf Meeting.
Yes, Chris Robertson, he's the vice president of the Touchstone Golf, the one managing the golf course, South Padre Island Golf Course. They came by and we met with them. Minnie and I had a good meeting with providing information to them that they didn't have. They're trying to look for all the information that they can before they do anything. So they're trying to locate all the water lines, all the connections that the other associations are involved with. So they don't want to pay for extra water that belongs to somebody else. So they're thinking of doing different ways of getting the water for them only to the golf course, as it was in the agreements, and not to the other associations. So they're still figuring out all the connections, valves, everything that's out there. And at their business, they're also investigating, you know, what's going on internally in their office. So they wanted some more time. They are going to pay the bill until they figure all the kinks in their business, and they're going to come back to us. And I told them that whenever they go out to the system and try to find out whatever they need, valves, lines, to let us know, and we'll go out there with them also, because we want to know what's out there too. We have maps.
Are you going to have set up an account for each individual homeowners association, or?
We don't know yet. They want their own account only for the golf course, as it was in the beginning, just one agreement. But they don't know yet if they're going to sell yet or not. They're just waiting to figure what's out there first, and then what they're going to do to fix. They're going to have just one account. They don't want to. The other associations, which is 4 more associations, including them, 5 altogether, they were getting water from them, and they were getting reimbursed. They don't want that anymore. It seems like the other 4 associations might have to come back later, and what's happening is that they're getting water for their irrigation system, their lawns, you know, instead of just for the golf course. So they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. So
That's an
I'll
internal
bring all the
thing.
information when they come back and visit with us again, and make sure that the agreements, and then I guess we'll have a attorney revise, you know, see what we need to do, and see what y'all want to do. But as of right now, they're just wanting to pay the bill until they find everything that they need to find out. So I just want to bring it up to y'all's attention that we met, and we had a...
And everything's current?
Everything's current. As a matter of fact, they're actually paid extra on their account, so, and we didn't tell them that. We just know ourselves that we didn't tell them that, but they wanted to find out also how many irrigation meters that are potable water meters, and how much the cost was for each irrigation meter. We provided all the information that they needed, and there's still more information that's missing that we need. We don't know where the water's going to. I mean, we know they pump it out, but we don't want to be setting water at a low cost instead of when they could be paying the potable water, you know, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's justifiable. I need to bring all the information back to you guys and see what you all decide on doing on that part. They're taking a lot of water from the reservoir and using it at a low cost instead of paying, you know. So I'll bring the information as soon as we get it all together.
Wasn't the original contract just for the golf course?
Right.
So all these meters that they've added that are watering other than the golf course, they're all illegal.
They don't have meters. It's just from the 1 meter that they pump the raw water. They just connected pipes.
Well, how do they determine how much those people owe?
They just,
They have an agreement where each homeowners association pays a certain percentage, but it's all in meters.
We need Victor to go out there with a whole bunch of caps and some glue.
no, that's what they're gonna be doing that themselves. That's what he mentioned to us, that he wants to.
Unless we wanna set them a rate, maybe the simplest thing, be out there, guys, if it's that convoluted, we'll set them a rate. And
We can talk about
whatever
that,
they do with it is their business, but we're gonna bump our rate up.
we can talk about that as soon as I get all the information, cause,
Yeah, in the future.
you know, justify it and see what y'all decide to do on it. Possibly by January, next meeting in January. Okay, the next item that I have here is a consumption update. Wanted to bring an update on the, consumption throughout the summer until November, for the reason that we had a water conservation plan in place. And, from, June, July, August, September, October, November, the average has been 7.75%, conservation, below our regular average. It's been a good conservation plan in place. It's just a matter of, when the water at the reservoirs goes up above the 50%, we'll cut it, and it's all voluntary, it's in place, and a lot of people comply with it, and so it's a good conservation plan. If we needed to go stricter, we would have, but we didn't have to. It was just mandatory and, voluntary basis, and it worked fine, so just wanted to report that we, saved 7.75% of water consumption. So
That's good. All right, good job.
revenues went down, but that's okay, we can work with that. So, conservation of the water was more important because,
We start all over again first of the year, though.
that's correct.
So, at least
We
we're
should've
getting
used it
revenues. If
all
we run out of water, we're getting no
and
revenues.
charged them for it.
Yeah, they got way too close.
Well,
Rest of it
just wanted to
might
prove
have
that
to
the conservation plan does work
Okay.
throughout the summer. And I was aiming for the summertime because
That's crazy.
you, have a lot of consumption during the summer, and then when you come to the last months, like October, November, December, you're out of water, so, but we're okay with it now. Believe we have like 600 acre feet, a little bit over 600 acre feet.
Yeah,
of
our
water
balance for
left.
the last month is like 680, we'll probably use about 4 something.
But it's still cutting it fairly close, I mean,
Very
it's
close.
We'll
still not a big excess.
Right, well, plus we ordered, 230 acre feet from Fish and Wildlife, so
Right.
really, in reality, we're basically maxing out our allotment.
So do you wanna lift the conservation,
No, not yet,
Not yet?
we're still at, I sent you all the email today, it's 41.97%, so it's still under 50, so
Oh, I-
we'll just keep it in place. Actually, I would like to take it off after, like, about 75%, I don't know if we're gonna get there or not, but after 75%, we'll send the notices back out.
I think your conservation is only, people only pay attention to it during the hot, heated summer months. I think that, that spring, summertime is when they really listen and pay attention. I mean, if you're reading and hearing about conservation now, it doesn't, I don't think it's as effective or registers as much. I mean, I hope it does, but I don't think that.
And again, conservation is not only,
Yeah.
you know, trying to cut water usage, but use it in a wise way.
Sure.
Where, you know, you irrigate with pinhole hoses and there's all kinds of different ways.
Just like you do, we'll come out to your
Well,
house.
most of the
Watch
time
to
it
see
comes
if we can
automatically
do
in the
that.
winter. Most of the time it comes automatically in the winter, people are not watering too much.
Right, that's
We
what I'm
have a
saying.
season when it rains.
No, that's what I'm saying, they're not as aware.
Kinda like me.
Okay, and then the next one, the tip of Texas coastal bird count, they called me again, remember last year they had the duck count?
You wanna count ducks
Water
again?
Number 2, so they're gonna do it again, so I gave permission to go ahead and do the count. They're gonna do it on December the 19th, from about 1 PM to 4, couple hours, 2-3 hours, that's what he mentioned.
Are we
We
still
don't know
getting,
exactly the time, but he'll be there about 1 o'clock, 2-3 hours.
we're still getting a lot of ducks?
Yeah, we're still getting a lot of ducks. So, can't get rid of them.
Well, we could.
Anyhow,
That's it.
that's what it is on that part. And then on I wanted to remind the board of the employee awards banquet on Friday. So, that's about it on that, on my part.
Excellent, thank you, Carlos. Moving to item 10, District Engineers Report, item A.
All right, here, let me pass out the update for these project bonds balance.
These are all mine, right?
No, it's just one copy.
Oh, I thought you-
They're each one page, just look like there's some extras in there.
I'm gonna look at this tonight.
Oh, wait, I can. Yeah? Alright, so I guess just to give you an update, I went ahead and, at our last meeting, we had asked about adding columns to show what our original line items were, and then, these transfers that we've been doing to, to cover our overages for each individual line item. So this, the third column over is the original 2007 bond budget, with a total amount of $9,815,000 for Series 2007. And then that next column that says Series 2007 transfers, those are the money that was shifted between line items, to cover actual expenses as they were incurred. And so, for example, for this water reuse that's complete at the Laguna Vista sewer plant, we had to add $143,000 to that budget. And the same thing with the water and wastewater line replacements, which was the manhole rehab and the work we have scheduled with in situ form in Laguna Vista. We had to increase that budget by $189,000. For the lift station 19 expansion, we had to increase that budget by $439,000. And so the lines in parentheses, that's basically what we took out to keep everything balanced. And so that's how we've been, staying on top of the budget. So that's, and then plus the, the water rehab projects, we kind of see our pump station. I mean, for water plant 2, the raw water pump station's getting rehabilitated under the microfiltration contract. And water plant 1, we've done the rehab under major repairs in the general fund. So, those are projects that are still getting covered, basically. So as we scroll over to, to the balance portion of it, the committed is the open purchase orders, where we already have the jobs under contract, but haven't completed the work yet. And then so our remaining balance right now in 2007 is about $157,000. So, we're pretty much winding down on that Series 2007 project, or bond money. It's just a matter of finishing what's currently under construction. And that's basically where we're at. So going over the Series 2012 bond, we know we had a surplus on Cuates pump station and pipeline, so we ended up, basically taking out $760,000 and transferred it over to water plant 2, so we could cover the emergency power and all the extras that we needed to get that water plant to 8 MGD. So that's basically the main transfer that's been involved with Series 2012 to keep everything in balance. And so again, for Cuates pump station and pipeline, The amount of open purchase orders for pending construction works at 2.3 million. There's no activity yet on the water distribution or wastewater collection, and the money we set aside up front for reuse is 1.99 million. And so the remaining construction amounts that's still pending to complete water plant 2 is at 1.981 million.
Where you at?
Oh, on the water plant 2 microfiltration improvements, on the column that says committed, the amount there says $1,981,993.
Yep.
That's mainly our final payment to Paul for the membranes and the construction work that's still future, that's in progress. And so, our current balance after taking all the construction items on Cuates Pump Station and Pipeline and Water Plant 2, we're still looking at 7.5 million remaining in the Series 2012 bond. That's for future work. And so that's basically where our bonds are looking right now. So I think it's in pretty decent shape. I guess that's the first one. Any questions before we move to the next slide?
What are we, on the pipeline itself, what percentage of completion are we at?
Oh, I'd say it's close to 50%. I mean, right in about a month they're going to be at San Ramon Road, and then this week they're already working at the Water Plant 2 access road. So, say month and a half, they're finished from Water Plant 2 to San Ramon. And
They're
so
only 50% complete, so.
it's probably more than 50. I need to get the numbers. I'm kind of going off.
Is there another road going in over there?
Well, we just cleared our 40-foot right-of-way that's always existed.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've driven back through there, but...
No, I saw from the highway.
Okay. Well, I mean, Buena Vista, we basically just kind of redid it when we installed the pipeline, and then there was an east-west section that used to be that old port road alignment, and we basically cleared it and got it back to a 40-foot width, and so it's looking pretty good in there.
The only problem I got, I was elected about a year ago and that project was started. Are we 12 months away from completion? Is that what you're telling me? That they've been digging and laying pipe for a year and it's going to take another year when they're supposed to be done in what, March?
No, they'll be done by March. No, I mean, we're talking about, gosh, 8,000 is the FM 2480 section. They've installed at least, like they did 4,000 in a wet month, they did 12,000 in a good month. I mean, that kind of gives us a general idea of how quick they're moving.
There was 2 contracts on that one. The first one was Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fast track that they called it because TxDOT made us do it pretty quick. So we did one phase. That's from 3069 all the way to San Ramon Road. That was part 1, but Peterson did that contract. They completed it in time and everything was good on that one. Now this one here, Cornet, is the second contractor doing the other half. So they're pretty much, I'd say about 60%.
Yeah.
So they're pretty far off in
So
that.
Peterson's contract's 100% complete.
Right.
Theirs, yes.
Right. Yeah, the lines
But
installed.
they only took it to San Ramon Road.
Right.
Okay.
'Cause that was the part that TxDOT.
50% complete on the remainder of it. Give me a total completion on it.
I mean, total completion.
Not today.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the whole line is 12
Monday.
miles, and just with a rough ballpark, we're probably at like, 8-9 miles installed already, somewhere in there.
So about 3/4 of the way.
Yeah.
3/4 of both projects together.
Okay.
So Coronet is gonna hook up with whatever Peterson did.
Yeah, Cornet
You know what I
ties
mean?
into
Correct.
Peterson and the pump station, and he's tying in over the reservoir.
Okay.
All right. So I guess that kind of covers the construction as well. Let's see, Port Isabel water reuse. We've been advertising for the engineering services to get a water reuse project started here at the Port Isabel wastewater plant. And we've had 11 firms acknowledge that they're going to submit proposals, and we've already received 4 today. And the deadline is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So we'll probably have to schedule our meeting with the professional services committee and distribute all those proposals so we can start reviewing each firm's qualifications and get the interview or notify a short list and have them interviewed at the January board meeting, January 8th. And so that's basically where we're at. I mean, I've been tracking the RFQ online, and over 300 people have viewed the RFQ, so it's had a lot of activity. So it's been going pretty good.
Good, yeah.
Get exposure. But that's basically where we're at. For the water rights, it's kind of maybe an update for our year-end balance. We got our November statement from the water master today, and in November we had used 632 acre feet, and so that gives us, for actual usage for for the year, we used 4,869 acre feet, and our authorization is 5,550. So that leaves us a remaining balance for December of 681 acre feet, and we're estimating we'll probably use about 400. So
When is it, we're supposed to have 7,300 acre feet. When is he gonna lift this noose he's got around our neck?
we don't get any additions until the reservoirs get above 50%. So
Above 50%.
once they start getting above 50%, for every percentage we gain 146 acre feet.
Of course, the Mexicans ain't give us any water, have they?
No, their reservoirs are at 85, 100%.
Yeah.
That's basically where we're at. Going to construction status, the Cuates pump station cans are in place. They're working on all the pipeline to connect to the existing piping. We already talked about the pipeline. Water plant 2, microfiltration, we're going on the tail end of all the piping installation, getting all the electrical instrumentation installed. We have the commissioning start date scheduled for January 20th, where Paul's going to come down, and they have a 9-week period to get all the membranes up and running, and then at that point the water plant will be in service. So the building, it's looking good. The only thing that's pending is pavement, and the only reason why we haven't done pavement yet is because we need to get the building energized, and AEP is scheduled, Eaton's coming down to do their testing on the 16th, and they needed to do all the testing in the motor control center with it de-energized. So once that's done next week, AEP will be able to get the building energized, and we can start looking at moving our guys out of the trailer and into the new building, by the end of the year. And that's basically where we're at to be able to occupy it.
There was a question by Mr. Vela,
Yeah.
and I didn't get to you because you were out. He wanted to find out about the lighting around the building. Lighting?
Yeah, there's lighting installed. It's just not energized yet.
Okay.
But when AEP
There
turns
is?
it on, yeah, there's light on the
What
exterior.
kind of fixtures do they have? I didn't, well,
They're
I
these
just saw it by
LED
highway.
lights. I don't know the details on it, but
Oh.
there's one at least on each side of the building. And then also, we're starting to shut down water plant 2 on December 16th, and once that shutdown begins, that's when we're going to remove that splice and run the new.
I guess you gotta get close enough to see him, but you can't see him from the highway, You see
No,
him-
the lights are only like this big.
Yeah, just
and
not
they're
inside
kind
the
of
office
recessed.
wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd have to. I can show them. I can put them out to you when we're there. I think it's looking pretty good. So we're just getting ready to, get into the tail end of it in game. So for lift station 19, they're dewatering as we speak, and that wet well should be here any day. So we're still looking on schedule to be finished before spring break.
The lift station.
Yeah, lift
Is that
station
what it is?
19 in front of Isla right now.
The lift
Yes,
station.
the lift station of limited property. But it's getting done. So I guess that wraps up my construction report. If there's any questions or we're good.
Okay. Anything else? Robert?
Yes, sir. Just to let you know, TCDRS will be coming in to the district on Monday, December the 16th to, they're going to be providing a couple of sessions to the employees as far as the retirement systems, how it works, if they have any particular questions or anything they want to know about retirement. We'll have a session in the morning and one in the afternoon to kind of split them up, or split the employees up. So they'll be here for informational purposes.
Good. I got a good question for him.
Yes, sir.
We know we're upside down right now on our retirement package,
Right.
and we're tied in with the rest of the state. How many other members of the TDRF, whatever you want to call that, Texas
TDRF.
Retirement, yeah, okay. How many of them are in the red like us?
I can ask them.
I bet they won't give you an answer. Be a nice question.
Okay. The second item, Encode year-end transition/budget. As I reported the last time, we've done the year-end and Encode as of September 30th. But just to let you know why I had not given you a financial report for these past couple of months is that it won't print it unless the year-end is closed. And because of the audit, I'm not closing the year. I will close it by the end of next week. The audit is already completed, which runs into my next one, the audit update. The audit, as far as the field work is completed, they're working on a draft right now. They will be sending me some financial information tomorrow so that I can do the management discussion and analysis section. And as soon as that's put together, they'll have the report, and that will be coming to the board in the first meeting in January. And as a matter of fact, I need to close the year-end before December 31st. Otherwise, we run into some problems. It'll be taken care of. Any questions?
Thank you.
Guess that concludes our meeting for this evening. Meeting adjourned at 6:55 p.m. I'd like to wish everyone a safe, happy holidays, a happy new year, and thank you for your efforts, and enjoy your holidays coming up.